This does have some paint on it, but they're, well, you know, the old things. If you've noticed the manhole covers over the sewer systems and everything, how ornate and the old Pioneer horse-drawn equipment, how fancy some of those seats were, and they just did things up better than we do now.
I'm Donna Zabe, and I've lived in this area all the time. Even though I was raised on a farm about 7 miles east of Menno, but I attended school here and been with the community and the church here in all my life. So I guess all my years you can say I've been in this area.
My name is Mary Lee Hauk. I was born and raised in Menno. Went to high school here. And then I got married and moved to Clear Lake, South Dakota, lived there for 23 years. And then I moved to Spearfish, South Dakota, and worked at the Lookout Memorial Hospital there for 5 years. And married a man that I had dated when I was in high school. And moved back here in 1990. And I've been here ever since.
Were you involved with the museum from the beginning?
Well, maybe not quite from the beginning, but my husband Willard and I, we were involved with a lot of little different things that happened and needed some work done or something, you know, and yeah, we were here involved.
In your own words, tell me just a little bit about your recollections of how the museum got started and this house.
Well, it was a group of people that started getting together, kind of wanted to, you know, have a museum, and it was the efforts of a couple of women that actually got it started, and it was a young gentleman that really put the things into their mind to get it started, and that's just kind of how it started.
A young man, Brian Edelman, thought it would be a very good idea to start a museum here, and that came about after the centennial celebration that Menno held in 1979. And he started talking with some people, and Dorothy Harnish, who was born and raised around the Menno area, and she, of course, jumped right in. If anyone knows Dorothy, they know that she would be willing to try anything. And so they called a meeting, and they held it at the City Hall. I think there were 20 members or 20 people that showed up that day. And they were told that this Schmidt house was on the auction block or up for sale. And it was owned at that time by Don Schnabel. And he had planned to tear this house down and put a warehouse here for his store that he owned on Main Street. Well, for some reason, and I don't know, he canceled those plans. And when Don Schnabel heard that there were people interested in buying it for a museum, he offered it to them for $2,000, and of course they jumped at that chance.
Just the way it was supposed to work out, I guess.
So this is what now?
The gentleman that built this home. He had a store here in town.
And that's what these pictures are here.
Yes, all of these are. And she was a Pressler.
Carolina, his wife was a Pressler, yeah.
I love those old stores.
What do you love about the house?
Oh, I love the woodwork. And I like the light fixtures, though these are not original to the house. And I like the fact that they tried to find furniture from this period, because there was no furniture that they had found that was included in here. And by the front door, the hinges that hold it up are very decorative. And I did some tours here, and there was a gentleman that was an antique collector, and he saw those and he said they're very unusual to have in a house in a small town like this. Usually the higher end things like that would have been were found more in the bigger cities and with people with a lot of money. I like the fact also that some of the things, like we have Dr. Glanzer's, a lot of the things from his office are here. It's just a neat place to come, and I think that our young people really need to come here and see that and see what the heritage they have is.
I like anything older, I really do. I guess as the age I am, I grew up with this. I grew up with everything that's like in this kitchen. I knew how to operate the stove, the kerosene stove. I mean, it's just one of those things. I grew up with everything. And then I was told, well, why do you like it? Because you had to do it, but I still like enjoy it.
But we do have a chocolate set here that belonged to the lady that lived in this house. And a lady had bought it at an auction in Menno, and I'm not sure of the year, but when she found out that the house was back in the hands of the Historical Society, she donated it back, and it's in fine shape. And we have so many items that are from the people that lived here in Menno, and I don't know, they just are treasures. And if they're gone, they're gone. We lose a lot of our history and a lot of beloved things that we need to keep.
Tell about your grandpa. 3 generations.
Grandpa J.S. Headley, he was superintendent of schools. Yes, my father was Jasper Headley, and his father was John S. Headley, and I guess I'm the third one. The old press there is a pearl, and it's marked December of 1873, and I did use it a couple times to print some small projects. I did run it, yeah. Mostly the Heidelberg League for bigger stuff. Yeah. And this one here does proofs. If you want to see a proof of something, you lay it in there, put paper, and roll this over the top. Yeah. And the encyclopedia over there is very, very old. We did use it once in a while, look something up. And there's a chase over there for the Platinum Press. That's got a number on it. You can print tickets with a number. Automatically does it. That was pretty good. And the big cylinder press, I didn't run that too much. My dad ran that most of the time. Then later on we switched to going to Yankton offset. Yeah. Well, I'll be 84 next week, so the memory isn't the best. So
Is there ink in your blood, Bill?
Yeah, I guess so. I had a few other occupations to make some part-time money too.
There is ink in his blood. What does he have in his pocket? 2 pencils, a few pieces of paper of which many notes are scribbled on there so tiny that none of us could read them. And he even has a piece of paper in his hand. He writes down names of nurses at the dialysis unit. He writes down names of people he might have met once. So newspaper in his blood. There's something about that reporting, always the pocket full of papers and a pen at hand.
People have no idea what it was like or even how to work things. Because, you know, I also belong to the German from Russia Association. We're having a heritage thing for children. And one lady said, well, what are you going to do? And I'm just going to give an example. We're going to do a scrub board to wash clothes. We're going to hang up a wash line between 2 trees and make them hang up clothes. And then one lady said, I bet you they don't even know what a clothespin is. So those are the things that I think are valuable about keeping museums, showing how things were and how things were done. You know, I don't know, I just like it all.
What do you want to see happen with the Menno Museum?
I would really like to, I want to keep it going. To me, there's too many things in here that need to be preserved and need to be kept and know how things were and how it worked. Yeah, like I say, I like history, so I don't like anything being destroyed.
Now, what is the future of this home?
Oh, that's kind of up in the air. We do hope to build a new museum. And it isn't that we don't want to keep this house, but structurally it isn't sound anymore. And we're concerned about that. And the stairs are so terribly steep here, and a lot of older people or people with any kind of handicap are not able to go upstairs and see the treasures that we have up there also.
You're not going to live forever,
No.
as far as we know.
No, no, the good Lord gives us so many days, and it could be tomorrow. Who knows? Yes.
What's going to happen to all your stuff?
I hope to give it to people that will appreciate it or utilize it, or if things materialize, if we do try and get a building, you know, because sad to say, I hate to see this happen, but this house needs so much work that we just feel that we can't hardly put the money into it. So when there's a new place or new work, I'll donate some of those things, you know. I'd rather see them at a place and somebody else can enjoy and then leave them in a tub.
Do you think there's any possibility that I mean, what's going to happen to this house?
Well, if we do, and if it does work out if we do have a new building, I don't know, I think the group has decided maybe they can sell it. They don't know if somebody would even want to put money into it, restore it, because it's going to need a new foundation. It all needs new windows. Everything is in German we say kaputt. It's broke. It needs a lot of work. And if nothing else, we've also thought about taking some of this woodwork and the doors out, and if we do have a new building, make it like rooms in there and make it look authentic like the house. So there's so many things that we have, ideas we've thrown around, but we have to wait and see how all things turn out, you know. So it's a matter of time and money and volunteer and everything else to see how all this will come about, yeah.
If you go on this one, Donna, that doesn't have the paint on it like that other one does.
Oh, okay.